everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus, and I'm here to show you a couple things today in this tutorial. I specifically want to make a couple belly bands for this journal that I'm about to start working on, but I also want to show you some things about how I get started making a journal. This is one that I actually printed the papers for and started assembling a couple months ago, maybe even 3 months ago, and then I got sidetracked because I had a bunch of projects to do that needed to be done by specific times, and so it got set aside. So I haven't looked at this in a long time, and so I started to look at it and I thought, no, I should do this on camera so that I can kind of show you my process. But what I do when I start working on a junk journal that I have found works really, really well is first I get all my papers together. So I might use scrapbook paper, I might use papers that I've printed out like this, I might use some from a digital kit like this. These are from Tina Fey Phillips digital kit, Blue Lagoon, and I'll link that below. I love this. It's just beautiful, and to me it's kind of the theme of the whole thing. I probably will add another page here in the front that's one of hers because I want that to be like the opening page. If I'm going to use some coffee dyed paper, I add that in. Just whatever other kinds of papers I'm going to have in. So that's the first thing that I do. And then I go through my house, mainly my craft room, but I kind of go through my house too, and I look for things that I want to use in that journal. So for example, my husband's a sweater maker, so he has tons of buttons, and so I have this little box that I keep the buttons in on my desk, but I go over to where his buttons are, and I take the journal with me, and I look for things that would go along with that, and I just open up the containers that have the buttons in them, and I just put a few of each one that I think would look good in here that I think I might use. I go ahead and I put them in here, and I just mix them in with the leftovers that I have from previously because I don't really feel like going back and putting them all back into their containers. Then I look through my little bins that are like this, and I go, okay, I think I'm going to want to make some altered paper clips, so I get my paper clips out. I might choose some beads that I will then put into a small container like this, and I'll bring all these things to my craft table so that I have them all ready to work with. The colors that I want to use as far as distressing inks for this are my chipped sapphire and my vintage photo. Those are the two inks that I'm going to use for this. I'm not going to use any of my other colors probably, so I just have those inks with me. I have my twine, and I have some coffee dyed cheesecloth and the white lace and coffee dyed lace, and I have some of my husband's yarn that I really like that's real soft because these things are going to go really well with this. And I just kind of look around through the house, and I also go through my laces, and I go page by page, and I say, what do I think I want to use on this? So I have these two pieces of lace to put on the edge of the page. This will go on one page, and then this will go, when I sew it, I'll take this page out. Also one piece of lace right here, and also the other piece of lace right here, and then I'll put it back into the journal. So I've already got that lace cut, all ready to go in there. It's gotten the lace has gotten a little bit bent, but it's okay, it's going to straighten out. It'll be just fine. And I've gone through, here's some lace that I'm going to do on this edge and on the other side of that piece of paper too. Oh, I love this. Isn't that gorgeous? This is some of Tina Fey's watercolor. Oh, her things are just beautiful. You've got to check out her shop. This I think is from Pixabay. This is another one of hers. This is from Pixabay or Unsplash, and so is this. Okay, so then this ribbon is to go along the edge of this page and the other side of that. But do you see how I just kind of went through and I found lace and ribbon to go on the edges? So I've got it just all kind of starting to lay out. I haven't gotten stuff out that I'm going to make into pockets or anything like that yet, but I've got the stuff for the edges, and I'm thinking that I might have put stuff in here for belly bands, but maybe not. Okay, here are some. Okay, wow, I had forgotten I had done all this. Okay, I did print out some things for pockets and stuff, and here's a little notebook that I made for it, so I'm definitely going to want to make like a belly band or something to put that into. I always do at least one belly band in each one. I'm not sure what that white one's about. Maybe it was to sew something on. Oh, these are pretty, aren't they? So some of these are going to be journaling cards, some of them are going to be pockets. And I've already inked these with the blue. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot that I had done that. What a treasure to find this already. I had done more on it than I expected to have done, to find that I had done. So that's really cool. Okay, here's some line paper that's coffee dyed. Okay, so I don't think that I do have anything already. Now, you're not seeing lace and ribbon over here because I've got those on the other side. I've got the one that I'm going to put on this side already there. So, okay, so I don't have anything already for my belly band. So let's go ahead and look and see what we have that would be appropriate for making a belly band for that. And I'm thinking this paper, or maybe I'm just trying to go with what I've got close at hand. One of these I think is going to be really good, or maybe I'll use both of them. So let's find a page for the belly band. I forgot what time I started. I'm sorry. And the reason I'm apologizing for that is because my camera will turn off after about 30 minutes and without any warning, and it'll just start a new video. So if this stops in the middle of me talking or something, just look for the link below that will take you to the next, to the rest of the video. Okay, so where do I want to put the, I think I want to put the belly band on this page because it's a nice big page. And I'm learning that I really like having belly bands on a large page rather than a smaller one. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but as you go through here, the pages are different sizes. And that's very typical of junk journals, okay? And it's part of the charm. So I think I'm going to do the belly band on this. Now, do I want it on this side or on this side? I'm going to take this out. I kind of like it so that you can see it with the green. So I think I'm going to put it on the outside part, the part that will show right there, because I think this looks, doesn't that look gorgeous with the green? And so does this. Okay, so I'm going to do these. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I didn't plan this out because I wanted to let you guys see my thought process. Okay, so I'm going to take this out, and in order to save my place, I'm going to turn this sideways. And I'm going to set it aside over here behind me so that I have room to work here. Okay, I do want some lace. So I'm getting out my lace here. And I think I might want some ribbon also. So, let me see if I can get my blue ribbon. I am still here. Sorry. I'm here. Okay, so we decided to do it on this part, right? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, I love this. This is so pretty, and so is this. So I don't want to do anything to really like mess it up, but I'm thinking that some lace over that blue one would be really pretty. And then maybe lace behind this one. And I'm not going to leave them this wide, but I don't want to cut them until I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so, oh yeah. Isn't that pretty on top of it? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to get my paper cutter. Oops, except that it's got stuff on top of it. Got all kinds of stuff on top of it. Okay, please don't fall. I have a very precarious stack of stuff next to me, and if it falls, then oh my word, it's going to take me forever to reorganize stuff. Okay, so I'm going to figure out first of all how long I need to make the belly band. So how long is this? It's 8.5 inches, right? 8.5. Yeah, 8.5. So I'm going to cut this to 8.5. I'm going to cut it just a smidge under 8.5. There we go. Put the scrap over for, well, that's actually big enough for a pocket or something, so I'll just set it aside. And then I'm going to cut a thin part of it here for my belly band. We're going to like about 1.5 inches. How wide is this lace? The lace is 1 inch. Do I want to have it completely covering it? You know, I do. Okay, so I think I want this to actually be smaller than lace. So let's say we're going to make the paper about 3/4 of an inch is all. So it's not very big. right there, I think, is where I want it. Right down in the gutter, basically, and watch my fingers. Ah, I don't want to cut them off. I need my fingers. Okay, so that's good. That's what we're going to use for that. Guys, seriously, pray that I don't knock over my pile of stuff. It would be a disaster. Okay, and you're going to see this is going to be really easy, I think. I don't think I'm going to do anything really major to this belly band because I just like it like this. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to, where are my scissors? I don't know where my fabric scissors are, but this should work. Cut my lace to the same size. Okay, and see how I made the paper smaller than lace so that I'll have like a little lace border there, a little lace, kind of like lace edging. Okay, and so I'm going to zigzag this. I think I should do it on both sides. So I'm going to zigzag it on both sides. And if you don't have a sewing machine or you don't like to sew, you could glue this. Can you glue lace? Yeah, absolutely. You should see Gail Augustinelli glues lace all the time. And she's kind of, to me, she's like the junk journal guru. If you haven't seen any of her videos, you need to. She's so fun. She's really, really fun to watch. I've obviously never met her, but my husband, if I'm watching anybody else's videos, he goes, "What happened to your friend Gail?" You know, because he's so used to seeing me watching hers. She's just a riot. And she's good. I love her style, and so I like being influenced by her. It's like each of the people out there who does a YouTube channel for junk journalers, each of us has something different to offer, you know, so don't just stick with one person. Watch a variety. Okay, so let's go ahead and, I think we'll go ahead and install that. I think that's good right there. So what I'm going to do, because obviously I want to leave it open here, is I'm going to sew. I think most people probably glue it, but I like to sew. So I'm going to sew it right here. I'm going to just sew it at the top and at the bottom. Okay, very simple. And then we'll decide if we're going to do anything else to decorate it. Here. And this particular one I'm putting in the middle. Sometimes I put them a little bit to the side. And also because they get so much wear and tear, you know, with things going in and out of them, when I sew them rather than glue them, I do stitch across it twice. And stitch like 1 or 2 stitches past the belly band itself. Okay, so that'll just like make it more secure, help it to stay on with all the, you know, all the pulling and stuff at it when you're putting notebooks in and out. You know, if you make these things, then you're going to be really careful and gentle with it, but you can't guarantee that somebody who buys it from you or who is given a junk journal is going to treat it like it's fragile. So you don't want to make it fragile, is what I'm saying. Okay, now I want to see if maybe we want to put something else on it. I don't want to put beads on it because this is in here and, you know, there's going to be pages that you're writing on top of. But this little bow with the beads are so small that they really don't make any difference. And I usually put a piece of cardboard with the junk journal so that if there are pages that are hard to write on, the person can. I don't know if I like that or not. I think I like it just plain. Although these bows do kind of help blend it in with the coffee dyed paper. Ooh, I don't know. Hard decision. I think I am going to use those. I think that's really pretty. I like the combination of the brown with the beige. I'm doing that a lot more lately. I mean, with the white with the beige. I just think that's a very pretty combination. Okay, so I'm going to use glue for this. I'm going to use my Crafter's Pick Ultimate Glue. How do you hold this for an ad? I'll link it below. I'm sorry, it's like almost 9 o'clock at night and I'm getting a little punchy. Okay, sometimes you have to peel off the glue boogers that you left on when it was wet. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. This dries fairly quickly. It doesn't dry like immediately, so you do have time to adjust things if you need to. Okay, I'm going to put the first one on, and then I'm going to put the last one on so that I can kind of eyeball that it's going to be about the same distance. See how I measured really accurately with my finger? So this dries quickly, not so quickly that you can't move it around, and it dries really firmly. I use it on fabric, on paper, on everything, and it seems to hold everything. I mean, I haven't like tried gluing a chair together or anything like that, but or a piece of machinery, but for my junk journals and my crafting, it works really well. It also dries perfectly clear, and I mean, you don't even see that there's glue there. You know how sometimes you can see that there's like little crusties or something? You don't see anything there. So it holds it like really nicely. Okay, so that one's done. I like that. Isn't that pretty? I like that. And it's got like these white streaks from where the coffee didn't quite dye the paper, which I thought I chose this piece of paper because I remember because it looks kind of like the ocean with all those different colors in it. Okay, so then we're going to use, ooh, where'd that come from? That's pretty. Which one do I want? Let me see what I've got, how it looks with the green. Where'd that come from? Okay, so it would be like this. Do I like that better, or do I like this? I think I like this. This is great for a belly band because of these stripes and stuff. Okay, so we're going to do that instead of what I had originally chosen. Kind of serendipitous. I really am not sure where that came from. That's kind of cool. All right. Let me put these papers back in my box there. Okay, so I don't need to use my paper cutter for this because I've got lines on it, so I can just use my scissors. So I'm going to put my box back on top of the paper cutter on top of my trash can. Okay, so which one do I want to use? I could use, okay, so here's what we can do. We can use just this part right here. We could use that with this eyelet kind of looking thing. We could use it with this, or we could use that part right there. See, I'm not sure at all what I'm going to do with this. I think I want to use this part here because I think I want to put some lace on both sides because I do really like the white with the beige of the coffee stained. So I'm going to first cut off this little dotted line thing. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's from the top of the paper in the pad. There's always a little, so that once you cut off that dotted line, your paper is 12 by 12. And I'll try to remember to link this paper below too. It's Colorbach, $5 on Amazon. Some of these you can also get at Walmart for $5. Just really nice. It's not printed on both sides. That's the only disadvantage to these particular pads. But that hasn't, you know, at first I was a little disappointed that it was like that, but it really hasn't been a problem. I like having those white pages that I can then completely decorate, like stencil and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to cut that there so it's the right size. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to put my buttons away because I don't want this for everything. Okay, so I'm going to use one of these that has, you know, like a center to it because I'm going to cut it apart and put it underneath it. So I think I like this one. So let's, oh, and I took my pin out of the other one without replacing it. I need to do some coffee dyeing. I just got this lace and I'm smack out of coffee dyed paper, and I have a bunch of other things that I want to coffee dye too. So I need to spend like most of a day coffee dyeing, I think. I keep a file folder. I have 2 file folders right now of things that need to be coffee dyed, and that doesn't even include like just paper. I need to put paper in there, but I've got coffee filters and lace and cheesecloth that I want to coffee dye. I think some burlap. I can't remember what else. Anyway, a lot of stuff. Okay, there's my sewing scissors. That would work better. Okay, so I'm going to cut right down the middle. See how there's a thing in the middle there? So I'm going to cut down that because that's perfect for putting on the sides of something like this. And see how simple a belly band can be, or you can make it really complicated. I like to make Frankenpaper belly bands, and when I make that, sometimes I use Frankenpaper that I've already made a sheet of, and I just cut out what I want for the belly band. And sometimes I'll cut a piece of paper like this, the size of the belly band that I want to make, and then I'll just sew all my stuff all over it to make my Frankenpaper for it. It just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for, because I love making Frankenpaper, and what I already have on hand, how much time I have. If I'm in kind of a hurry to get it done, then, you know, I'm not gonna, do I want that? Okay, so here's the next question is, do I want the lace on top of the paper, or do I want it sticking out from under so that it looks like it's a big piece of lace? It kind of gives it the illusion that you've got a big piece of lace coming out on both sides, just sticking out on both sides. Or do I want to have it on top? I think I like it under it. I like this whole design to show. So I'm going to turn this over, look for the right side of the lace, and make sure that I put it down. Oh, my eyes are getting so bad, but I think that's right. And I'm going to sew it on. I happen to have white thread in my sewing machine right now. I think I've mentioned this before, but what I do, and I'm using zigzag, and you could glue this. You know, you don't have to sew it, glue it. I don't think I would staple it, but you could glue it. What I do is I put in a spool of thread of a color. I usually use some kind of neutral, like brown or white or beige, khaki-ish, and then I just use that thread. I don't keep changing thread while I work on several journals. If I have a journal that just really needs a particular color, like the one that I made for my dad that was a Revolutionary War theme, white just wouldn't have looked good because you really didn't want it to look like it was brand new. That's pretty. And so, you know, I did change the thread for that. But usually I don't change the thread. I just use whatever I have in my sewing machine at that time. And because I'm working on several journals at a time, sometimes that means that I change thread partway through because I use up a spool. And so right now I'm using white, but then I'll use some beige. And I like that. I think that it adds to the look of the journal that you've got different colors going on. And because, you know how, like on this page right now, I'm doing two belly bands. I'm doing them on the same paper, but they create pages that are in different parts of the book. Oops, I didn't catch it right there. You know, one's going to be closer to the front, one's going to be closer to the back. So that means that and I don't usually work straight through a book either. I kind of go, oh, I feel like doing pockets today, and I go through looking for places to do pockets. So that means that it's not going to be like all white at the beginning and then beige and then brown later on or anything like that. It's going to be mixed up. And so I like that. I think it looks really cool. And it adds some texture to it, adds more color. That's pretty, isn't it? I like that. I think I do want something in the middle of this, though I'm not quite sure what. And we probably should decide before, because if it's ribbon, I want to sew it on. I could glue it, but I might glue it if I use ribbon. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see if we want something down the middle of that. I think so, and I like this sticking up like that. I'm going to make it stick up a little bit more, and I'm going to make it down below too. I kind of like that look. I haven't done that on anything before, but I like that. It looks like it'll look like a bookmark sticking out. You just kind of come up with things as you're doing them too. At least I do. It's kind of funny. It's fun. Okay, so do I want to do white zigzag on that, or do I want to glue it on? I think I want to do white zigzag and kind of stick with that look. So I'm going to zigzag this on down the middle. And I think I'm still going to want something else on there. Now I'm not going to put beads or buttons because this is stuck in the book. It's not something that you can take out, and so it would kind of, it could make it difficult to write on. I guess if I used like some flat buttons, really flat buttons, that would be okay. Let's see what we have. I might use these same little bows again. See, doesn't that look cute? I like that. Okay, let's see. Here I'm saying I don't want to use buttons, but I'm looking at my buttons. Kind of like that, kind of mother of pearl kind of stuff. No, I don't think buttons are what I want. I think I want to use those same little bows, and I've had those bows for 20 years. And here's the thing too, you guys, with junk journaling, you're trying to use up your stash. These things that you've held on to for so long, waiting for just the right project. Look at, I only have one of those left. Wow. Okay, and I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm going to make sure that I use it this month. You guys hold me to that. Make sure I use that sometime in July. Okay? So I think I'm going to put those down the middle so that it kind of is the same as that one. And this is going to be in a different part of the book. Okay, so I'm going to sew this on first, and then I'll glue those guys in. That's so cute, isn't it? And I think that's going to be really pretty with that kind of greenish paper that's going to be across from it. I want to show you some more kinds of belly bands too, but I think I'm probably running out of time. Hopefully it hasn't already cut out on me and gone to a second video. But I know it will if I try to do another belly band. So we're going to just stop after this one. And I'm not sure that I have time to do it tonight. I have to get up at 4:30 tomorrow morning to teach, so, and it's already a little bit after 9. So I'll do them a different time. But I'll do some more belly bands, some more kinds. But this will just get you started. And, you know, and other people have belly band tutorials too, so look for those. Yeah, here's something while I'm talking and gluing on these bows, because I've already shown you how to glue them on. You don't need me to show you that again, or at least talk about it. One thing that I have started doing when I watch videos, so that I can watch more videos, is I turn the speed up, okay? And I just kind of discovered this by accident, but it's a great way to be able to watch more videos. And especially like if you're watching one of mine where I'm doing my craft table talk, a lot of times I talk kind of slowly because I'm trying to think about what I'm doing while I'm crafting, and I'm thinking about whatever subject we're talking about that doesn't have to do with crafts. And so, and these don't have to be even with these ones because they're not going to be across from each other. They're going to be in different parts of the book. Okay. So I would really recommend speeding up my craft table talk videos if you watch those. But the way you do it is on your phone. Oh, I have a phone here. Let me see if, I think I was uploading a video on it, so I may not be able to show you. But if it's already uploaded, I can. Let's see what we're doing here. See if it's still uploading or not. Oh, it's processing, so I can't show you. But anyway, if you're on YouTube on your phone, click on the video. It's going to keep running. And then up in the upper right corner of the video, let's say that this is your video, okay? Up in the upper right corner of the video, you're going to see 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots and you're going to get a little drop-down menu. Close to the bottom of it, I think, is where it says playback speed. Click on that, and then you can choose whether you want it to go slower or faster. And I usually go 125 to 150%, okay? And I love that. Okay, if you're on your computer, then what you do is just hover over the video and you'll see, you know, a little toolbar kind of thing come up at the bottom, and there's a cog wheel there. Click on the cog wheel and one of the options will be playback speed, and the same thing, you just choose which speed you want. Okay, so let's see how this all works out inside the journal. I'm so excited because I think this is going to be so pretty. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? I like that. Okay, and then this one over on this side. Ooh, I like that one even better. Very pretty. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so anyway, I love you all. I really need to go to bed, so I think that's all that I'm going to do today. But I will do some more belly bands another time. And I know that I have videos scheduled for like the next couple weeks, so it'll probably be in 2 or 3 weeks that it'll come out. I'll probably record them tomorrow, but I won't post them until 2 or 3 weeks from now. So maybe practice making some like this for a little bit first, and you know, get used to making those. And that's another thing, you guys, you can make a bunch of belly bands ahead of time. You don't even have to have a journal for them. Make a bunch of them ahead of time and then stick them in a folder or a box or a bin or something so that you have those ready for when you're making junk journals. I'm really working on building up my stash of envelopes, pockets, belly bands, frankenpaper, stuff like that. It just makes it a lot easier than when I'm making a bunch of journals at once. All right, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.